Hey guys, welcome to this video. Thank you so much for joining me today. I know I've said I'm going to try and get back to posting regularly, and right now my whole family has COVID, so I've definitely had the extra hours in quarantine, but it's just been really hectic and hard to sit down. But I'm so grateful you guys are joining me today, and today we're going to be talking about undaunted and unreserved faith. The story we're going to be focusing on is in Exodus 14. And that is where God parts the Red Sea. So just to give you some background before we dive in, the Israelites, which are God's chosen people in the Bible, were in slavery for 70 years to a people called the Egyptians. Now, God raised up finally a man named Moses, who wouldn't necessarily be the first pick for the dodgeball team. He had a stutter. He wouldn't be the winner of the spelling bee, but God still saw something in him and qualified him because he called him. So Moses objected to this, but he finally said, okay. And so God told Moses, go to Pharaoh and tell him to let my people go. Now, if you grew up in Sunday school, you know the 10 plagues. You could probably recite them off the top of your head. But when Pharaoh heard this the first time, he said, no way. So God sent the 10 plagues, and it was only on the 10th one that Pharaoh said, fine. And the Israelites all fled to the promised land, which was a land that God promised them. So, which took 40 years, which it should have, I forget what it is, but the Israelites disobeyed, and it ended up taking 40 years to get to the promised land, which if everything went smoothly, it would have only taken like 8 days or something like that. But anyway, that just gives you some background on the story. So I've titled this little devotion, God doesn't part puddles, he splits seas. So if you ask God to show you his power in your life, don't expect him to bring you through something that you could have crossed or done on your own. To God, there is no big or small miracle. There are just miracles. Because our most undaunted, unreserved faith is his normal and his reality. As the Israelites were about to cross the Red Sea, they saw the Egyptian army trailing not far behind them because Pharaoh had changed his mind. They would have no other choice to cross through this raging sea and keep moving forward. And as they were about to, many cried out, asking God why he would lead them this far just to leave them. But typical God responds to these complaints by saying in Exodus 14:14, I will fight for you. You need only to be still. So many times we try and fight our own battles when God calls us to be still. The Israelites wanted to see God's power. But what they forgot was that when God's power is displayed, their weakness must be also. They go hand in hand. Because the victory cannot be by our hands. There can be no question that it was us who did this victory. It has to be big enough that it's a God-sized miracle. It can't be human-sized. It must be God's victory that he gives to us. The war that wages was never ours to fight. He defeats the giants. He splits the seas. He protects us from enemies. He does it all. So he gets all the glory. Don't expect God to let the fluff stay in your faith. Don't expect your Instagram posts and hashtags to get you through trials. We need sea-splitting faith. And it's only that when we are down to nothing and we give God our everything, that he works and makes something out of that. Especially right now in these uncertain, unprecedented, I'm so sick of that word, times that we've been living in for the past year and a couple months. It's been really easy to take things and put our trust in things that are tangible. But God doesn't call us to do that. He calls us to trust in him, the unseen God, who is working something always for our good, always for our benefit. It may not produce fruit in this life, but we'll have so many rewards in heaven if we just trust in him and put our faith in something that we can't see, because all the stuff we can see fails us. So I hope that encourages you guys, and I hope that this totally blesses you, and I hope to see you again sometime this week if I can get diligent enough to post and record. So thank you guys, and I'm praying that this blesses you. Have a good day or night.